Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, Default Thinking Right out here in the lab. What I do for you? Oh, I got a nice one for you today. This stuff is just getting better. For me, I hope it's good for you. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. Message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tune and receive them. I hope they're working out for you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all those right thinkers tune in to get the information and knowledge they need to know thyself. That's all I got for you. That's all my intentions are. That's why I do what I do for you. If you want to know yourself, I'm your man. Let's go. Know thyself, the question I asked. Do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I'm the spiritual dog. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. I think is know thyself and to my act be true. This is gonna be like a part two to the lesson I gave, which was what does it mean to live by truth? Broke that down for you. Now I'm gonna get more important. What it means to learn and live by the truth. Excuse me. What does it mean to learn? Okay, and live by the truth. Forgot my live right there. Okay. Learning it is one thing. Living it is what the whole purpose of learning was meant to do. So let's talk about that. Right thinkers, let's talk about what it means to learn and live the truth. What's the difference? And some of us gonna have a problem learning the truth. Why? Because they believe a lie. This is the problem we're gonna have right here. We just did the cognitive dissonance. That's what this is all about. Take it to another level where you can understand it maybe a little bit better. So let me break it down for you. So let's start with if someone is called upon to learn something that what contradicts, there you go, right there, something that contradicts what they already think they know, that's all religious people, be you Christian, Muslim, or Jew. I deal with every aspect, and y'all all have y'all concepts of what your faith that you follow says. I ain't got a problem with that. I just know otherwise. So we ain't going back and forth. No, I'm just gonna let you know. Okay, respectfully understand that, but that don't mean much. Why? Because I got something that's gonna contradict what you say, probably. So that lies the problem with learning the truth. If you're set on the lie, truth gonna look foreign to you. That's the difference. So we try to understand that. And I'm not saying your religious concept is a lie. I'm just saying I got something other than that. Moving on. So it's going to be hard for them to hard for them to learn something that contradicts what they already think they know, particularly if what they are committed, hell bent to that prior knowledge. Hold on for dear life, ain't letting it go. No, 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 no. So I understand that. And I remember 10 years ago, I was told you can't be knocking people's faith like that. They believe. Why not? I understand now, so I'm a little more understanding about this. I try to give it to you where you can understand. I ain't trying to just beat you over the head with it. I had philosophy. My brother he beat you over the head. Bang! I'm gonna hit you with the feather. Just tickle you a little bit. Why? I ain't trying to hurt you. I ain't trying to inflict nothing on you. Just want to get your attention. So that's my method at this point. Before I carried the hammer, I was thought I'll bash your head out. But now I'm a little more understanding, a little wiser. So watch this. So when they're committed to their prior knowledge, it's hard they are likely to what? Resist the new learning. I don't try to teach my pastor right thing in philosophy. Why? I know he's doing what he's doing. That's a waste of my time. So understand that. But for most people, accommodation, integration of what? New knowledge is more difficult than what? Assimilation. Why? Because some people can hear and even intellectually agree with the new knowledge, but they still are unable to integrate it because it contradicts the old knowledge. Trust me, it's not a fight. Let's call it a holy war. One is true, and one ain't. If you got two things and they don't match, you can't have them both. You can't serve two masters. So watch this. Now, if learning something has been difficult and uncomfortable, or even sometimes humiliating enough, people are not likely to admit that content, that the content of what has been learned is not valuable. It's just that to do so would be what? To admit that they have been had, conned, bamboozled, led astray, all the stuff that Malcolm talked about when it comes to that religious viewpoint. But he had a religious viewpoint, so I ain't going there because he had his. He was a Muslim, so I understand. You just, if you're gonna cast stones, be ready because your glass house, they can throw stones back at yours. They can see you too. So I don't do that. So that's what this is about. If I'm enlightening you, I'm not trying to harass or belittle you. Just trying to enlighten you. That's all. That's what I'm doing. I'm not here to argue. I ain't got time for that nonsense. Moving on. Sometimes what? Learning may be acknowledged what, but not accepted. Right there. Again, these are all the symptoms of that people that we know won't adhere to something that's contradictory to what they believe. That's what I've been telling you for years. But this is in the book. I don't make it up. Watch this. So watch this. Such personalities know the teachings, but what? Do not practice it, as that would require what? Them to do what? Change their actions, and they may lose what? Status in society by doing so. If you're a sleazeball and you know you are, then you ain't trying to change. Simple as that. You are what you want to be. So that's your choice that you made. You're gonna live with that. They ain't gonna change. So you ain't trying to change them. They need to be changing, but let God deal with them. All right. I just want to enlighten those who want to be enlightened. I ain't twisting arms. I ain't making threats on that nonsense or promises. Oh, you follow me, you can get this. No, I ain't doing none of that nonsense. So watch this. Now, sometimes people refuse to face what? New reality. Of course, it's new. Don't make it bad or wrong. Understand that. And because they don't want to face new reality, what? They feel they are losing something of themselves. They have invested what? Their hopes and dreams on certain notions, lifestyle, believing what that is, that now they are asked to what? Leave it behind? Ain't happening. I don't want you to stop being a Christian. I want you to start being a Muslim or a Jew. I want you to be more enlightened Christian, Muslim, or Jew. How about that? So sometimes people will refuse to. Okay, okay, wait a minute. Okay, this we're talking about our people. Sometimes people will refuse the fourth one. Yeah. Sometimes people refuse a new reality. Why? Because they feel fatigued. Okay. Mental fatigue arises what? Due to the strain of what? Differences. Why? They get caught up in this one and that. They can't make their minds. So they caught up. And watch this. The struggle between the reality of what? To be accepted and its super superpression or conscious exclusion of what? Unacceptable desires, thoughts, or memories from the mind. Such a person cannot handle what? The difficult situations of life and may even descend into what? Depression, irritation, or even mania and physical illness. It'll hurt you, it'll be so bad you can cause your own self to be sick. That's what happens when you just in that state of denial. You just refuse to see things where they are. Then you got other people. Now you got others who may refuse the new information. Why? Because they have been degraded, and seeking acceptance by some group that upholds what? The knowledge that they have previously learned. Their denigration has rendered them what? Weak, to the extent of seeking just approval and dependent on that group in question for their self-worth, direction, and purpose for life. You got to be kidding me. So you'll subject yourself just to be with, that's crazy. Don't make sense, but we just talking about different kinds of people. Okay. Next we're gonna talk about, in reality, the higher learning experience is indeed a loss of something. Why? That something is ignorance. Sorry. And it's ensuring capacity to what? Lead human beings to what? Suffering. We suffer because we ignorant. In its place, watch this, there is a gain of higher understanding, which is what? And with that comes what? Peace and insight into what? The secrets of the universe, including the discovery of what? Immortality and infinity. Meaning you know that the internal part of you, the essence of you, will live on forever. You just want to become conscious. I tell you, put the spirit and the mind together, the heart mind coherence. That's how it's supposed to be done. And you recognize immortality, you'll understand infinity. Watch this. Now, of course, this this highest of human attainment, niha, spiritual enlightenment, requires, listen, the highest effort and the highest form of what? Letting go of what? Your previous held notions about yourself, creation, God, aka your higher self. I didn't have a clue, but you couldn't tell me nothing. Okay? So I'm fully aware of that nonsense. Watch this. So therefore, it is understandable that very few people have the capacity to make the necessary adjustments to what? Achieve the highest ideal of personal integration, meaning knowing thyself. It's gonna take some effort. And if you ain't sincere and willing to put the effort in, you won't reach it. It's just that simple. It ain't hard to understand. Watch this. Now, closely held notions over a period of time accumulate what? Mental impressions in the unconscious mind. So even a person's desires, if they sincerely desire to adopt a new teaching, they may be what? Unable to for what? Some time, until what? They are able to neutralize their contrary unconscious impression. They have to come to grips with themselves. It ain't my teachers. It's up to you to accept them and understand them and use them the way they're supposed to be for yourself. Now, many have what? Attempted to adopt the practice and the philosophy of right thinking, philosophy, or Shita Netta, spirituality, just as others have what? Adopted other religions. I have followers who swear by my philosophy. Love that. Why? It's just like it's helping you. I don't care what you call it. Okay, but if you practice it and use it, you call it whatever you want. Okay, that's the point. Why? Because if it's working for you, that's all you care about. Now, you have other people adopt the religions after what? They have lived their early lives in another culture and religion. It's okay to change. That's your right. And I say, if you got 40 years in Christianity and you still the same person you were 40 years ago, did it do anything for you for real? So, but I know the people I deal with, I watch them, they're the same good people. They've been good since I met them. They still good people. So I got a problem with that. All right. But watch this. Now, this presents a special challenge, as it means that those people who have what? Converted recently actually have what? The conscious and unconscious mental baggage. Watch this. The aria, which is your action and deeds. And I got a little lesson coming up about that, morals and deeds. But unconscious mental impressions that what? Impel the desires of the mind. Indian term for that is karma. What you put out, what you get back. Your IRI will be either rewarded or punished. Simple as that. And equal to whatever you did. If it's good, bless. If it's bad, No punishment. Simple. Watch this. Karma, which accumulated over previous years and lifetimes to what? Overcome their adaptation of the new tradition, try as they might to what? Integrate the new teachings. Watch this. There is inevitably a struggle between the new idea and the old. I call it the holy war inside you. Watch this. Which will not be resolved until what? Until there is what? Sufficient maturity and mental stability, meaning spiritual knowledge, and that will allow what? For thoughtful reflection on the central question of what? Life. Unfettered, watch this, by knowledge that one previously committed to. When you cross over, all the other stuff, let it go. Just let it go. Like walk away from relationship. You don't carry the baggage, and you let all this stuff go. When I walk away, I don't need nothing. Why? Whatever you got, you can have it. I'm gone. Okay? Simple. So everybody, I want this, I want that. It's nonsense. But that's the concept. But yeah, when we are done here. People who have invested, listen, much time and energy in holding on to what notions are psychologically what? Weak. Why? Because they refuse to change and have done so to what? Bolster their self-concept, aka the ego. Therefore, they have entered into a condition, watch this, of needing dogma to support their concept of what? Reality. If that church, if that crutch of dogma is removed, aka the church, that personality will what? Will collapse, since its intellect is atrophied and incapable of cognizing what? A new and better reality for themselves. They won't do it. See? This is the notion, what's this? That you can't teach an old dog new tricks. We're not dogs. I got a 16-year-old right thinker. I got a 70-year-old right thinker. Old dude, just as spry. What is he doing? At the 16-year-old, they got the same thing. They both made a change and they crossed over, become right thinkers, and they loving it. Watch this. So now, of course, watch this. That adage does not apply. Again, do not apply to human beings. Again, we ain't dogs who are what? Evolving spiritually. If you're a right thinker, you're trying to get spiritually enlightened. So you're going to try to evolve, raise your conscious from spiritual knowledge and understanding that you can implement the things that you're learning for yourself. That's spirituality. And since what? They have a special capacity the other forms of life do not have. We have conscious. Humans have the capacity to intellectualize, okay, conscious, think, right thinking. But that capacity exists to the extent that what? That egoism does not cloud or dull the intellect. A lot of us are egoistic, so we ain't gonna reach it. If egoism, desires, childish antics, etc., hold sway over your personality, that personality will what? Exist in a manner not unlike animals, but at the level of instinct. And those persons cannot be considered, listen, fully human. If you're still acting on the beastly nature, you're not fully human. Okay, you got to raise your consciousness without that state of mind. And even though, watch this, they may appear to live as other human beings, in actuality, if those people are dismissed those people with diminished capacity or challenged beyond a certain limit, what happened? They will descend, revert back to what their personal base thought process is: instinctive, fight, physical, retaliate. Those people, we know them too. If you don't agree with them, they get hostile, they get physical, they get crazy. Okay, no control. Again, beastly nature. Watch this. Now, that process from the instinct base, and watch this, and a society populated by such people, which we are right now, will what? Will denigrate to what? You ready for this? Anarchy. I say civil war. Same thing. You got people living in the same proximity, but they're gonna go to war because they have different views and different concepts that they want to fight and kill for. And we got a guy about to be in office who wanna make that possible. Yep. So let's just understand. We in that time right now. This is old information. This is from ancient times. We live in the same concept right now. So please understand that. So therefore, watch this. When we hit anarchy, that's what we headed for. The apocalypse, the end. Therefore, it is said what? In the commission wisdom text, the lips of wisdom is closed, or closed, excuse me, except to who? The ears of understanding. Wisdom cannot help. Watch this. Wisdom cannot help those who are unable to understand it, reflect upon it, assimilate it, and accommodate and adjust and adapt to it, and finally what? Integrate it, mean live it. Again, that's the whole goal. In the mind, when you live in it, in the mind, transforming oneself by it into what? A new personality. I'm the same dude, but I'm a different dude with mind understanding now. That's the difference. Okay. Those who do not want to change, right there, will what? Will resist new knowledge and what? Cannot be transformed. Like a caterpillar refusing to become a butterfly. He like being a caterpillar. He don't have a clue how good it is to be a butterfly, to fly, to soar around, but he rather it's long in life. Some people satisfied with that. Again, freedom, choice. So also, watch this. This is why, watch this. It is also said in the commission wisdom text, when the student is ready, okay, that's when the caterpillar is ready, the master will appear. He will listen, adhere, and hear the truth. The teachings, watch this. The right thing of philosophy teachings are always there. It's been there for 1,000 years. I went back and got it. Watch this. And the teachers are always there in the world. I'm here doing it now. But people are unable to what? Recognize the teaching, that ain't my fault, or the teachers, due to their cognitive blindness as it is, where they what? They choose to see the world they are comfortable with, and so they what? They prevent any notions that contradict that illusion from consideration. They're gonna see it the way they want to see it. They're gonna do what they want to do. Leave them alone. Those are the ones you avoid. Why? You can't change them. Now, right quick, got a few more minutes here. Let's talk about morals are judged by deeds. God work on morals, which is judged by the deeds. I thought this was a good concept, so I had to break this one in. Let me get a paragraph or two right here. I got one paragraph and then one at the bottom. So yeah, I'm almost done. Hold up. It's good stuff here. Again, who is a proper candidate to be inducted into the ranks of the priesthood? We talking about these guys. Priest or priesthood. Well, okay. What makes a person fit or unfit to practice the teachings in an effective manner? Good question. In order to be effective, the personality must be, first of all, mature, virtuous, and centered on what? A particular goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment. If you're a right thinker, your whole goal is to reach spiritual enlightenment. My job as the teacher is to help you along the way, will give you the things that you need to make that possible. So let's understand that. And if that goal is mixed with what? Worldly ideas or diluted notions, you, the person's capacity to advance in spiritual life will what? Be diminished. It's a hindrance. Why? Because the energy necessary will be diffused. Why? Between conflicting agendas. You straddle the fence, you're hemming and hawing, okay? You can't serve two masters, one or the other. That's what Mayat represents, duality, freedom of choice. So it's up to you. The conflicting notions also affect what? The mind. That's where they have it at. It's all of here. Now, the delusions, which is agitated actions in life, stir up what? The thought vibrational structure of the mind. If you're thinking wrong, you're vibrating on the wrong frequency, and what happens? And thereby it tends what? Towards movement and ignorance. Not knowing something, but think you are moving in the wrong direction again. And watch this, away from stillness and insight. Meditation is for the purpose of you stilling yourself. Why? To let God do what God does. Get your attention and you can commune with him. That's the whole purpose of meditation. Or y'all want to just pray to God. You don't want to let God talk to you. You want to tell God, God, oh God, I need you. Oh God. What? Yeah, but what you giving him? Give him some time. Simple. That's what meditation is really all about. Now, the avid right thinker must learn to what? Counteract what? Your ego driven movements of the mind, negative thinking, wrong thoughts, by first controlling your physical actions of your body. I'm in the gym every day for a reason. My brother asked me, man, when last time you been a doctor? Okay, that long. So the body takes care of itself. And if you do it right, it will do just that. Moving on. And watch this. That's the first thing. So if you ain't in shape, you ain't physically fit, get some physical fitness going. Why? The body needs that to do what the body does. A body in motion will stay in motion. And then next thing is controlling this thing here, the mind. In order to turn the virtual forces, the force, Luke, use the force of life towards that which is what? True. Watch this. Righteous and pure. Those are things that you can live on and you will be rewarded. If you do that, things will be in your favor. Now, why? Because you're doing the things that would make it favorable for you. That is the path, watch this, to what? Success in the spiritual life. Living right is only doing what's right. And that's the spiritual concept of being what? God conscious or using spiritual disciplines. Shita nada. And only, listen, and only those who are ready to tread the path of what? In such a manner are capable of doing what? Succeeding in the advancing disciplines of right thinking philosophy, aka clergy or Shita. When you're learning the philosophy and you're living by it, you'll experience for yourself what it really means. I'm about to take it home. Watch this. And we just talked about the first responsibility is taking care of the ego. The first responsibility of a right thinker is to learn and practice Maya philosophy. In Maya philosophy, listen, the most important injunction of the 42 precepts of Maya is what? Not lying. I have not lied to who? Myself and God. That's the first thing. That practice begins with what? Not lying to who? Oneself. Those who allow themselves to live deluded worldly lives will also lead deluded priestly lives. So we can't have that. And as well. So this is why the personality must be purified through what? Maya. First, before proceeding on that spiritual path, Maya is the philosophy you have to follow as a Nazarene or right thinking or any spiritual tradition for that matter. Whatever you want to do is still my philosophy. Otherwise, watch this. The person should remain in the secular world and pursue their desires until what? They have reached a level of, again, maturity sufficient to what? Recognize that the illusions of the physical world and pleasures and distractions are no longer needed. Why? I want to better myself. Why? I'm tired of doing this. That's why. And those, watch this, those who propose to take up the advanced lifestyle, right thing philosophy of the Netherlands clergy should strive to implement the injunction of Maya and also the admonitions of the sages to what? To steer clear of the unfit, immature personalities and to keep company with the wise, the sages, and the virtuous aspirants who are sincerely making an effort to succeed on the spiritual path of right thinking philosophy. Y'all go to church to get together. All my students come here and get their lesson. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm out. I'll be back.